Hello and welcome to this easy level Windows box. So this one is going to contain a virtual hard disk, which we can actually use to get credentials. You can get these credentials because we mount a file share, and this file share is actually on a remote file share, I guess, sort of. But after we log in, we can actually find an application called mremote-ng, which can, well, you can extract the hash from there, from the administrator, and you can easily crack it with some Python tool, which was created to crack mremote-ng files. So first of all, if we just ran an mmap scan, I will just show it, the mmap scan here, you will find that there's no website. And the immediate thing it's trying to show, it does have 5985 on HTB and 5985, but it didn't really show me anything. It's just, I think, an empty, maybe an API, because it does say HTTP API, but I couldn't really find anything with it, so it's probably not that interesting. First, because it's gonna run the standard scripts, I believe it is, or like default scripts. We did find that we have actually SMB script, OS discovery, and also some SMB stuff. So it's gonna probably be interesting to sort of look if we can actually find something here. Well, the immediate thing I always do is use SMB client, and we can just list the shares with the L command. And what we can do, we just press enter. We can actually see that we have the admin, which is almost always on there, C and IPC there. Which is not default, is backups. How you can see your rights on this, actually, I'm not really sure. But what I want to do is I just want to go into the backups share. I want to go in here because this is not a default share. So something like someone might have put something on there, or something is changed to make this share like appear here, okay? So I want to get node.txt, and you can actually download every single file. But I've already looked through most of these files, they're not that interesting. What is interesting is we go into Windows backup image. We can actually see L4 Lampje. Well, it's going to be a Dutch name. So we're just going to go into L4 Lampje. And what we see here is that we have some backups actually. And how you can also get to know this is if you just look at the file we just grabbed or crawled, or sorry, get, you can actually see, please don't transfer an entire backup file locally. The VPN to subsidiary office is too slow. So basically, of course, they have done this, and the backup can be found locally. Of course, that's just going to be the great tip. So this points you in a direction of, all right, we're going to have to work with some backup files. It's going to be a Windows machine. So you can also think about, okay, it might be easier to just mount this file share by going over to another Windows machine. And I actually saw some people do it, but I just prefer to stay on Linux, as I don't currently have a Windows image or VirtualBox image. So it's going to be a lot harder to work with that. So what we got here is we have this certain backup image. So I'm just going to go in there. Let's see, like this. CD here. And if we see, we do actually get these file shares. You can actually mount these. It's actually possible. I tried the smaller one, and it just wouldn't want to mount. And I tried the bigger one. The only difference is this one is going to be 4 instead of a 3. I'm not sure what this different is. Maybe it's a partition or anything. But you don't need the first one. You just need the second one. So the way we can actually mount these, first of all, we want to like sort of download these. You can do this inside of SMB with recurse on, and then you can do prompt off. And then we can say mget star. This is also a possibility. It will literally download every single file. What you can also do is you can just say get the 9b, 9c, 4, whatever. But this takes, I think it takes like 20 minutes. At least I ran it for 15 minutes and it wasn't finished by then. So I'm not gonna do this. What I want to do, I just want to list, sort of mount this file, which is on the SMB share. And one way we can do it is I found this Medium image or a website which posts through how we can actually mount a VHD file and killer links through a remote share. This one is sort of focused through the box, as someone also said in the comments, like, oh, nice, now I can actually finish my box. So, well, it does show like how we can use it. But if we just follow the commands, and I'll just make this smaller on the left side. Okay, sorry, I'm having some trouble here. Come on. Can I please? Okay, maybe this one. Yes, and then this one. I'll just do it like this. That's fine. Come on, I cannot select it. Why? What? Come on. Okay. I gotta grab it. It's so slow today. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, it's a bit tricky. I don't know why. All right, so we just want to go to the top of what we want to do. You can read this, but you just need to get the libcast VS and this utils tool. And first of all, I don't know why it is, because once you create one of these file shares or want to mount them, you actually have to have the sort of folder created, because mount is going to be run by root on default, I think it is. So if we just go to mount, and we see if we try to make this directory, for example, Bastion, because the box is called Bastion, right? It says it cannot create it. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to use sudo. And this is also, you can already see they are root inside of this image that we see. So yeah, it's a bit, I guess, tricky like that. All right, what we want to do, we just want to copy whatever he wrote down. And I'm just gonna autocomplete this. So what we have here is civs. I'm not sure what civs is, but we're gonna wanna mount this directory of this IP, and this is basically the place we went into to find this sort of remote share. So if we look into the share itself, we can see this is the exact name. We can see we're on Windows image backup, Lumpia backup, and then this 9B9CFBC4 image. And you can see that's the exact thing that's used here. And then it says just the place you want to mount it to. It's going to be in Mount Bastion, and then we want to have the output as read once, I believe it is, or read something. Oh yeah, of course, the permissions. So if we just sudo this, we see password. It's anonymous access, so you can most of the time press enter. But we do get this. Well, okay, that's fine. We're just gonna have to go here and then try to mount this. For some reason, it doesn't always work with sudo, but you have to do it through this way. Why is this not working? Okay, cool. We're gonna mount the entire thing then, right? So what we're doing, let's just mount the entire thing. I don't care anymore. No names, no nothing, right? Actually, that might be the problem. Now that I think about it, we're just gonna call the backups one anonymous, and now it's mounted. Okay. Actually, that was exactly the problem. I wanted to mount the VHD, but we have to mount it now, because now we sort of copy these shares over to our system, and now we can actually sort of try to mount it. So next up, what do? They use ls, and they use the guest mount. I'm not sure what the difference is between guest mount and mount, but anyway, we're gonna mount /bastion. Now we have to go into the path. So Windows, Lumpia, backup, and then it's gonna be the 9B9BC4 image. And now it's used for both, so I can actually see the output, but we have to add the I for inspector and the read once. You must specify a mount put for the host system. I didn't select that. Oh no, okay. I want to put it to /mnt/ let's just call it VHD. And it has not been created, right? So sudo su Kali. As we can see, it's not been created, so we just have to create it. So VHD. And we can now go back here and we can create it. Should be possible. So it's trying to boot, it just shows some output. It shows us this because we set the V option, which is going to be verbose. So it just shows you every single thing that's happening. Not that I can make a lot out of this, but if I were to see some errors, I can actually see them here. And sometimes they don't really get shown. Unlike, you know, when you don't set the verbose option. So especially when you're dealing with things that can go wrong, like mounting a file or setting up a web server or anything, I like to set the verbose mode on because you can just see what is happening and what might actually go wrong. So this is just going to take a second, and now we should, if we go back here, if we go into VHD, we do see some files, which is really good. Well, we sort of copied over all the files, but we're actually still working inside of the other sort of machine. So when someone else on the machine changes something, we can actually also see it here. What kind of enumeration you can do is, most of the time if you look into program data or program files, you can actually find stuff that might be interesting. But first of all, we want to get the flag, so we can actually see the public, the Lumpia one, and now if we see it, we can actually see the type. Sorry, cat user.txt. Oh, sorry, desktop, and what? Desktop in here. All right, we can't see it yet. That's fine. Why can't we see it yet, actually? We first have to get access. Oh, okay, yeah, we just have to share mounted. So we're still ourselves, okay. So our next step is gonna be finding some way so to actually get more access to the system. And one default packet, which is, this is one of the default ways, but it's gonna have to go into Windows System 32 and config to get the SAM file and the system file so we can actually crack the hashes. So if we just go back to cd/mount/vhd, we can actually go into Windows System 32 and then config, I believe it is. It's freezing on me. All right, it has a lot of issues. Config, are you there yet? Okay, let's just go in there. Just taking a long while. All right, cool, there we are. You can see we have the SAM and the system. These files together sort of protect your credentials from just being public. I believe SAM is a database which stores credentials and system has the NTLM hashes, but I'm not really sure on this part. I just know the way to do it. So one of the tools we can actually use to crack this would be either using Impacket secret dump or with SAM dump. And I do like Impacket because it already tries to give you the credentials by cracking it. So we can see here, it already said, oh, okay, this is the password, boom, done. And it's just really easy. But if you were to do this yourself, we have to use SAM dump. So we can see SAM dump system and SAM. This gives us the NTLM hash. And the NTLM hash is actually crackable by either John, Hashcat, or whatever cracking tool you prefer. So I'm just going to copy this hash because I do want to crack it. I'm just going to say, actually, I'm going to move back to Bastion. So the vim hash, I'm going to copy it in here. And if I look into the man of Hashcat, no, like this, I can look up NTLM, and we can see we have to use our hashing mode of 1000. So 0 is going to be MD5, and you have all these other options. So we just have to set it. If we look at how we can set up our sort of image, we can see we just need to have Hashcat and then the Hashcat type. I believe you can do it. We don't have to use hash type. I think we can do the M, which is going to be the same on our hash with a user of RockU. This is going to just run through it. I've actually already cracked it, so it should already sort of give you the answer. So if you now just do show, it should also show the password. So this is a bit of a longer method, but I think you have more control over what kind of things are happening. As Impact might not show you, it does show you the hashes, so you can actually also do it yourself after this, but it's just two different ways we can do it. So now that we actually have the password, we can actually try to SSH into the machine. So if we try to SSH into the machine, we just need to do bureau lampje, and we see we have actually user. So if we go to desktop, we can type user.txt, and we actually get the user. Now, next up is trying to get system, because if we can go into the directory of the administrator, you might have the time, you get access denied. You're right, you're not the administrator, so you're not allowed to go in there. So if you look at what kind of get user, why is get not? I have some net. Oh, it's net user. Okay, yeah. So you can sort of see what kind of groups you're in, that local group, like all these kind of specific things. What we want to do, and it's a bit of a cheeky method, but I know where to look, as it already said it in the description, but we have to look into what kind of files are installed. So if we look into where we might be able to look, you have your program files and program files x86. Most of the time on my computer, program files are installed either in program files or the 86 one. I'm not sure what differs between them, but well, I don't know. Let's just go in here. And what you can see here, we have mremote ng. If we move into mremote ng, you will just find some executables which actually can help you. And we can look at mremote ng, what it is or what we can do with it. So it's a multi-remote next generation abbreviation. So it is a tabbed remote connection manager for Windows. Cool. This means most of the time these programs have credentials stored, so you can easily, for example, connect back to a machine you've created. Now we want to find where these things are, right? So we can, for example, just say exploit. I don't know. Let's look at some exploits. Actually, we don't need the exploit. Credentials location. It's going to be in app data. This is an AI overview. Sometimes it does give the correct data, but if you just look at, for example, GitHub, because most of them it gets it from GitHub, Reddit, or other files, you've got people who have an insane amount of knowledge on something and just say, look here. So that's the exact thing we're going to do. We're going to move back to the root directory, and we're going to go into app data. Can I just update like this, maybe? There we go. We're inside roaming. So this is going to be the app data of the current user, and we already see mremote.ng. So cd mremote.ng. What do we have here? We have conf.cons.xml. If we type conf.cons.xml, you see a lot of stuff. So we have one for the user Lampje, and we can actually see password. It's going to be this password. So it's going to be a long hash. What we can do to confirm that it works, because you will have the exact same thing for administrator here. Sorry, bit to the top. Where's administrator? Password administrator. Here, administrator. I want to confirm that this is actually cracks down to bureau Lampje. So what you have is if you have, was it what was the software name again? mremote.ng, crack passwords or decrypt passwords. Just do decrypt password tool. We have to decrypt mremote.ng passwords, which might sound good. I'm just gonna go in here, exit, and cd into home/boxes to Bastion. So we have our files here. So I'm just gonna say vim hash. This is gonna be the old hash actually. Wait, vim mremote Lampje hash. Let's just paste that in here. Oh, we have to fix this because it might mess it up. Okay, yeah, nice. So we can actually clone this decrypting tool. So we can say git clone this tool, password decrypts. We now have this mremote.ng, so we're going to go into mremote.ng, has this Python files mremote.ng, and then we have to go into the back one to get the mremote Lampje hash. It should crack it in recognized. Oh, this might be another tool. Why doesn't it show it? Oh, this is the, you give it the complete XML. All right, sure. Yeah, we can also try that one. Sure. I think copying might be the best one. Actually, I want to use another tool. This one is a decrypt. Yeah, let's just use another tool. So git clone on this one. And then we have our mremote decrypt. I think it is. Some other files, so Python 3 decrypt. Am I using the same one? Oh no, wait. bureau Lampje. Okay, so we confirmed that one works. So now if we try to do the password of the administrator, we should pretty quickly get the password here. So let's just go in here. So we have vim /. Actually, we can just create it here. I don't really mind. Let's try to fix this like that, and then we can do the same. So we can just say hash. It should give us the password. And what we can now do is, if we have the password, we can try to add SSH into administrator. Administrator at 10.10.10, and then we have the password, and we should be granted access. So now we can actually type the root.txt. It wasn't that quick of a box. I'm not that quick on Windows enumeration, especially not with mounting files. Can be a bit of a hassle sometimes, but this is just the way I did it. These are not the correct commands, but I can show you sort of what an overview might look like. It would be these. So we can see we SMB cliented into them. We went into how we can mount these things, and this is just purely mounting them. Then we went into the SAM and system files to get the credentials. This was another method. And then we went into I actually skipped this, but there's going to be Windows Enumeration. This is actually a really good website because it shows you the thing we can actually do. And then we went into program files. We saw that mremote was there, and we just decrypted it. But if we look into Windows Enumeration, how you would have done is you can just move through these things, and eventually, if you get to install app, you can actually see, for example, wmy product name get vendor version, whatever. If we do this on, for example, here, you can actually see the mremote ng software as well. So this was probably going to be the one, like the proper way to do it, but I just did it with knowledge beforehand. But this was how you can sort of enumerate things. So these are all really helpful things we can get to do. So for example, if I want to see the Windows Defender, we can just let's look at these, like what is in here, and we can say, well, what did I copy? Oh, I copied the whole thing. Oh no, stop. No, oh, these are firewall rules, right? I copied every single command. No, it's okay, it's okay. I'm gonna kill the session. I think I have another one. Okay, we're gonna go into here. We're gonna query the Windows Defender. We can see it's running on Windows 10 with its own process, right? So these are just the things you can try to do, which is actually a really cool box. So yeah.